Now let's talk about who should get an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 40, coming up in a little over a month's time in Philadelphia. Now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, Gunther, over 600 plus days as champion since June of 2022. He's got a long list of credible opponents. If you watched Monday Night Raw this past week, you saw Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, even Money in the Bank winner, Damian Priest, even potentially flirting with the idea of challenging for that title. You have other guys like Ricochet, who Gunther defeated in June of 2022 to win in the first place. Bronson Reed, Dominic Mysterio, Andrade. The list goes on. There's a number of credible opponents that he could go up against at WrestleMania 40. Now, personally, if it were up to me, it would be Chad Gable. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But you also don't want to count out the guy who almost defeated Gunther at Clash at the Castle, September of 2022. Also last year at WrestleMania 39 in that triple threat match. He had Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther. And personally, I was hoping for the longest time it was going to be Sheamus that defeated Gunther because that's the only title that's eluded him in his WWE career. The only reason why Sheamus is not a Grand Slam champion. So as it stands right now, we haven't seen Sheamus in months. As it stands right now, Chad Gable is my number one option. However, if Sheamus is to return any day now, I'd totally be game for Sheamus to step into that spot. And hey, if we could get Sheamus, Chad Gable, and Gunther in a triple threat just like we had last year, I'm here for it. So as far as Chad Gable's concerned, it was very interesting Tuesday. He posted on his Twitter a clip of it was a little under a minute and a half. It looked like it was recorded around the holidays, but he had just uploaded it a couple months later. It's incredibly interesting. It's clips of him with his family during the holidays. He was also training. Even clips of him and Gunther that dated back to their history in the recent past. And I don't know. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Seth and Drew. Of course, Roman and Cody. Cody potentially finishing his story at WrestleMania 40. And I hope that happens. I really do. But I am more intrigued with this Intercontinental Championship picture. So what Chad Gable said in this video, he says, the holidays are a time for reflection when we finally get some free time to spend with our families. And I'm grateful for that. But I can't help but still feel a fire burning inside me. Fortunately, this new year brings a chance of redemption. A chance to right a wrong that continues to haunt me. And this is where Gunther defeated Chad Gable, becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time a few months back, and having Chad Gable's daughter in tears, who was sitting ringside. Now he says, Gunther, I told you straight to your face what you and that match did to me, but you made it personal. Then they showed an old clip of when Gunther told Chad Gable, you are a disgusting, terrible father. Now, obviously, that hasn't sat well with Chad Gable for months now since that happened. Chad Gable went on to say, you made this about more than just a championship. But this isn't about revenge. This is a quest for vindication. For my family, my daughter, my fans, and most importantly, myself. When Chad Gable says something, he means it. He says, and I said something. And again, they reflected back to a clip of him and Gunther where he said, I swear to God, I'm winning that championship. So I'm going to do it. And this isn't a resolution. It's a declaration. It was a fantastic video. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. It's on his Twitter. I don't know if he put it on his Instagram as well, but fantastic job he did with that video and getting his message across. So, look, I was all for Chad Gable getting this opportunity at WrestleMania 40 for probably months now, not just weeks, but months, about hoping that it's him. You know, again, if not Sheamus back in the picture, certainly Chad Gable. I love Sami Zayn. I know a lot of people are hoping it's Sami versus Gunther. And look, that would be great for him to dethrone Gunther, but he's already a 3-time Intercontinental Champion. Again, it would be great to take down the longest reigning champion of all time. I do understand that. It's going to be important for whoever beats Gunther. But this would mean more for Chad Gable, okay? Chad Gable has not won a singles title in WWE. All right, he's a Triple Crown champion, former NXT Tag Team Champion, Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champion with many partners. American Alpha, right, NXT, and when they first came to SmackDown with Jason Jordan. Then he won the titles again with Bobby Roode. And then 2 years ago, he won on Raw with Otis. Alpha Academy. So, again, we'll see what happens. There's a wide variety, as I mentioned early on, of credible opponents. If we see a returning Sheamus, could Damian Priest cash in on this mid-card title? I mean, look, I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy about that. That briefcase should really be for the world title, whether that's a Seth or a Roman. But let's be honest, that's an immediate failed cash-in, in my opinion, and he doesn't have a ton of time. He's got a few more months to cash in. Austin Theory unsuccessfully cashed in fall of 2022. He went on to win it about a month or so later, that U.S. title, but when he cashed in on Seth initially, that didn't work out. So Damian Priest, he might be cashing in for that Intercontinental Championship. Again, Damian Priest, Sheamus, Chad Gable, Andrade, Ricochet, Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed. There's a wide array of opponents for Gunther, and so we're going to have to wait and see what happens, but those are my 2 cents on the Intercontinental Championship. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Who do you want to see Gunther go up against at WrestleMania 40, defending that Intercontinental Championship?